What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You're here with myself, Guni, and you are correct. You are seeing a bit of a happier face on Guni today, something that you haven't seen for a very long time. Something that we don't see on the faces of many Chelsea fans, considering what's going on. The dark days happening on the pitch, 11th in the Premier League, getting dumped out of a final against basically Liverpool's Premier League 2 team. It's been dark for us. It's been dark. So today is the escapism from the matters and the diabolical things that are going on the pitch to a topic that makes us slightly happier. And today, in terms of the targets that we've been linked with, definitely makes me that little bit happier. 3 players that I would love to see at Chelsea Football Club that have been linked that we'll be discussing in the video today. And I know a lot of you are going to say, Guni, listen, don't get too carried away, man. Until those players have their names and numbers at the back of their shirt and Chelsea make it official on all the social media pages and the press has been run, that's the time to be happy. I know. I'm not jumping the gun just yet, but in terms of the players that we're being linked with, 100% I feel like we are going in the correct direction in terms of signing these players. But let's not get it twisted. The message still stays the same. The foot doesn't come off the gas. Mauricio Pochettino needs to go. Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart need to go now, ASAP. In fact, I would argue they need to go before Mauricio Pochettino does. Why? Because they should not be trusted to make the next managerial decision or any kind of recruitment decision for that matter. They have time and time again shown that they're incompetent, that they're not able to operate at the level that we need them to operate in, and it's not necessarily their fault. Why? Because they don't have the experience. We should be going out there looking at top proven directors of football like a Luis Campos. Michael Edwards is still available. We should be going for these kind of names. Directors that have got a proven record of actually signing players that do go on to become world class, do go on to contribute to teams winning major trophies, man. That's where we need to get back to at Chelsea Football Club. And in this day and age in football, the director of football, the technical director, however you want to call these guys nowadays, are key to making this happen. But there is one that I would definitely keep. And I know to many of you, you might say, Guni, you've lost your mind. Have you seen what this recruitment team's done? But there is one guy that I would keep, and we're going to talk about him later on in the video. But before we do that, make sure you do these things for me. Yeah, we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, but before we get there, we've got to get to 18,000. Yeah, and we're like less than 200 away from 18,000. So please smash that subscribe button if you are new. Help us get to that 18,000 mark. Also as well, give the video a big thumbs up and leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well about today's video. The first target we're going to be discussing is one that we already know. A striker that I've been talking about for over a year now before it was really hitting the social media news. Yes, I have to give myself a pat on the back for that one. Napoli's Victor Osimhen. We already know that we've been moving aggressively to try and sign this player. We've even got ex-professionals like Didier Drogba and John Obi Mikel who have been getting in his ear and telling him, listen man, I know we're performing and we're in the ghetto right now, yeah, but if you join Chelsea Football Club, you could be the start to taking Chelsea back up to where they need to be, yeah? Making Chelsea great again. You get me? Because we desperately need to be recruiting quality into this first team, because what we have seen over the last 2 seasons have been making my eyes and your eyes alike bleed. It's just horrible to watch. Absolutely horrible to watch. But like I said, these 3 players that we've been linked with do give me a bit of optimism going forward. But Victor Osimhen, as we know, has got a hefty release clause that Napoli are insisting any club who is interested should activate if they do want the player. I believe the price tag is between 130 and 150 million euros. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but those are the numbers that have been floating around on the social media. Do I believe that he's worth that hefty price tag? Firm no from me. I'm not gonna lie. Those price tags should be reserved for the elite of the elite players or the, top level world class players. But I understand why they've put that price tag on, because number one, he's just signed a new contract and that was put into the release, that was put into the contract. Also, there's not too many top level strikers out there. Another thing as well is that he's a proven striker in terms of he's actually won trophies with Napoli. So, and he was instrumental to that trophy win. So they're well within their right to demand that amount of money, because where there's a demand for top level striker, the price obviously goes up. Basic economics, people. Basic economics. But like I said, I don't think he's worth that price tag. I don't currently think he's elite or world class. But before you lot get upset with me, I'll say this. He's definitely got the tools to become that world-class striker that everybody is, in my opinion, prematurely talking about now. He's definitely got the attributes. Excellent in the air, good with both feet, positioning very good. Also can run very quickly as well. Of course, he's Nigerian, do you know what I mean? Most Nigerians I know are rapid, you get me? So those are things that obviously help, yeah? And a lot of you are going to say, oh, what? Because he's a road runner, he's a good player. Yeah. I mentioned other things as well, so calm your ass down. Do you know what I mean? Calm down, yeah? Because I get that on the social media anytime I mention P&P, as people like to call it. But do I want to see him at Chelsea? Absolutely, of course. Is he an upgrade to what we've got? Nicholas Jackson, Armando Broja have been nowhere near good enough and are not of the standard to be Chelsea number 9s. The proof is in the pudding. You guys have been suffering along with me in terms of watching their poor finishing in front of goal, poor decision making in the final third, breaking down attacks. I'm sick and tired of seeing it. I need a clinical striker, good with both feet, good in the air as well, and that could just take chances and also turn up in big games. Victor Osimhen, I believe, has got the potential to do all of those things, but for that price tag, whew, he's definitely got to hit the ground running. The pressure's going to be on him, but do I think he can handle that kind of pressure? I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. I hope he can. He does seem a bit of a strong-minded individual, so that is also a good sign. But definitely a massive, massive improvement on what we've got at Chelsea currently. But I've also said that signing Victor Osimhen as the only striker this summer is not going to be enough. We're going to need more than one striker. And thank goodness, it looks like Chelsea are also interested in RB Leipzig's young striker, Benjamin Sesko. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Another young player, unproven, doesn't really have that much experience. Is he going to be able to take on the pressure at Chelsea Football Club? Is he going to be another flop? I would agree with you. If he was going to be the one and only striker we'd be looking to sign, it's still a possibility. I wouldn't put it past these inept recruiters to just sign Benjamin Sesko and keep it moving. But if we've got a Victor Osimhen in front of him, slightly older, more experienced at the highest level, has actually won stuff as well and gets goals, it's going to relieve the pressure from the player. And that's what I feel that Benjamin Sesko needs. He's not ready to walk into a club that has the ambition to be competing on all fronts. I still hold that. I don't know if the club still does. And be their main striker. But he's definitely got great attributes to be learning behind an already either established striker or a striker who is currently establishing himself at a very, very good level, which I believe Victor Osimhen is. Benjamin Sesko, very tall, very strong striker, excellent in the air as well, very skillful as well, very, very skillful, can beat his players, can create opportunities for other players, does like to stretch that defence, does like to roam the channels as well. Very, very what I call a complete striker, and I honestly believe he's got the potential to become a world-class striker somewhere down the line. As long as the development curve is correct, as long as the development with him is correct, he's got bags of potential. And to have Osimhen and him as, you know, choices 1 and 2, massive, massive upgrade. Massive upgrade. I currently think that Sesko is a better striking option than what Nicholas Jackson is now. As controversial as that might be for some of you, I honestly think he's better in front of goal than Jackson. Better with retaining the ball at his feet than Nicholas Jackson as well. So to have those two strikers of that caliber and one that can go on to become a top level striker is definitely a push in the right direction for me. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm happy, very happy that we're linked with these two strikers. But that's all it is for now. Just linked. Nothing concrete just yet. But I do hope we get these over the line. It will be a very, very good start in terms of fixing our attack. Something that I feel that we desperately need to do. And not just the striking options, I also feel that we need a revamp when it comes to the wings, because boy oh boy, Madueke for me is not good enough for Chelsea Football Club. Mudryk for me is not good enough for Chelsea Football Club. Raheem Sterling, as good as he's been in his career, with all the experience that he's got, and obviously he's contributed to the GA this season, I just feel that he's not performing to a standard that we're used to seeing him. And yes, there might be other reasons in terms of the state of the team and the tactics and the way we play, but in terms of his leadership, non-existent. And for a senior player, he should be one of the more influential players in the team. But on the pitch, I just feel like he shies away. Maybe he's just discouraged about what's going on at the club. You know what I mean? But even still, you should have the most professionalism out of everybody. You've come from a club that have been relentless in terms of winning, and that requires discipline at all times. And unfortunately, I don't think I've really seen the consistency I need to see from Raheem Sterling to want to keep him at the club if a decent price does come in. And also remember as well, he's on hefty wages. £320,000 or something ridiculous like that a week. We need to get that off the books, 100%. So, it makes me very happy to say we have been linked with a very good winger, in my opinion. Somebody who also has the potential to become a top level winger somewhere down the line. I currently think he's operating at a very good level for his age, and he goes by the name of Nico Williams. And just like Sesko, I don't think I mentioned Sesko's release clause either, but he has what's considered an affordable release clause for a player of his quality. Benjamin Sesko has one of 50 million euros come the summer, which I think is a fair price for a player of that age and, you know, his potential and the current prices that we're seeing in the transfer market altogether. 50 million these days, especially euros, is not what it once was. You get me? So, but in the case of Nico Williams, he does have a 40 million euro release clause. But there is a massive caveat to that. Because Chelsea Football Club, we are used to amortizing the value of a player or the agreed transfer fee across the length of the player's contract, which is why we sign them on to like 8 years, so we don't have to spend too much money per window. So therefore, there are not negative ramifications with FFP. But in terms of Nico Williams and the club he plays for, Athletic Bilbao, you have to pay the full release clause up front for the player. We've seen this in previous transfers. In terms of Kepa, we've seen it. In terms of Ander Herrera, we saw that happened with Manchester United as well. You must pay the release clause up front in order to get the player from the club. Is that something that we're going to be able to do? It remains to be seen. Matt Law has reported on Chelsea's potential summer move for the Atletico Bilbao star Nico Williams. And it says in his article, Athletic Bilbao star Nico Williams is on Chelsea's radar as the club begin to draw up their plans for the summer transfer window. Although an out-and-out striker will be Chelsea's priority with Victor Osimhen and Benjamin Sesko among their top targets, the club have been impressed by the progress of winger Williams. Given how expensive a striker will be, a move for Williams may depend on how successful Chelsea create funds by selling players. The 21-year-old has a release clause in his Bilbao contract set at around £43 million. So my bad, people, it's actually £43 million, which is relatively affordable, but his wages are said to be expensive. It is believed that Williams earns well over 100k a week after tax in Spain, which would place him among Chelsea's highest earners. A move for Williams would also place question marks against the long-term futures of Raheem Sterling and possibly Mykhailo Mudryk. I've already said how I feel about those two players. I wouldn't mind seeing them out of the door, especially if we get decent price tags for both of them. But chances are, I don't think we do get both of them out. I think he'll probably be one of them. It goes on to say, although he can play on either flank, Williams often starts on the left, which is where both Sterling and Mudryk play most regularly. Although the Ukrainian was recently deployed as a number 10 by head coach Pochettino, there is no suggestion that Chelsea are looking to offload either Sterling or Mudryk this summer, and both players remain committed to the club. I honestly don't know how true that is. I have my doubts. Sterling was the subject of an approach from Saudi Arabia last summer and may get another offer this year. He was not interested in a move last year, and there's no indication that he would be this time around. As reported by the Telegraph Sport, Chelsea's rivals believe the club need to raise at least 100 million by June the 30th to be sure of complying with profit and sustainability rules, a figure the Blues refute. Williams is enjoying a superb season for Bilbao, which has attracted a host of clubs, with Arsenal also linked to the player and signed a new contract in December last year. But the new deal, which saw his release clause remain the same, is not expected to stop clubs forbidding him this summer. So in this article, we did hear a few things, some questions about FFP worries, raising money, but I also said there that Chelsea have refuted those claims in terms of having to raise the 100 million, which is very positive. But, you know, we have to wait and see, like I said. And another thing that I'm seeing is Matt Law is claiming that Sterling and Mudryk do not intend to leave Chelsea Football Club. We'll see how true that is. I do have my doubts, but it's Matt Law. I respect the source where it's coming from. But I would definitely be happy seeing Nico Williams come through the door. Very talented player. Can use both feet. Not only can he play on that left wing, he can also play on that right wing. Very two-footed, very skillful, very quick. Has an eye for goal as well. Able to play make. Just the winger that I feel like Victor Osimhen would love to work with. I feel that that connection there could be an excellent connection in the Premier League. And like I said, it very much excites me. Very much excites me bringing this caliber of player. Yes, I know he's 21. He's still young. And as good as he is now, the scary thing is that he's going to keep improving. So this is one that I can definitely get behind. Definitely would be very happy to see Nico Williams come to Chelsea Football Club. And I do hope they make it happen. Now, at the beginning of the video, I did discuss, out of all of the recruiters, there is one that I would definitely keep. And he goes by the name of Joe Shields. Why, Guni, would you keep Joe Shields at Chelsea Football Club? I'll tell you why. Number one, yes, I know we're continually going for youth, but every single top professional club needs one youth scout. Needs a youth scout. And I don't believe that there are too many that are better than Joe Shields. And the decisions and the players that he's wanted to go for at Chelsea Football Club have done pretty well. And the ones that we are linked with, including Nico Williams, he's the one that brought to the rest of the recruitment team, seem to be very good players. But outside of Nico Williams, he was the one that suggested Cole Palmer. We see how well he's doing. Romeo Lavia, he was responsible for taking him away from Manchester. Well, he took him to Manchester City, took him to Southampton, now to Chelsea. Unfortunately for us, we haven't really seen Romeo Lavia due to his injury concerns. I hope he does I hope he does improve. I hope his condition does improve, because I do still believe there's a top player in there. He's one that I advocated for. But I do believe that Romeo Lavia does have a lot to show for Chelsea Football Club and to contribute. As well as that, he has been very interested in Michael Olise. That is a player that I rate very, very highly. Wouldn't mind seeing him at Chelsea Football Club, but I do have one massive red flag with Michael Olise, and that unfortunately is his injury record. He has been ravaged with injuries this season as well for Crystal Palace, and that is something that concerns me, and I'm sure that concerns you with the amount of injuries that we've seen at the club. So Joe Shields is definitely one that I would keep, but I insist, get a Michael Edwards in to work alongside him. Get a Luis Campos to work alongside him. Somebody with that proven track record of signing top players and even meeting what Chelsea probably want, getting them prices on the low and for them, to raise their value. But obviously the best ones we keep. We don't want to be selling our best players. We want to be competing on all fronts at Chelsea Football Club. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for today. I don't want to keep going on. I didn't plan to go as long as I have now, but here we are. You get me, interesting topics. Sometimes you go a little longer than you expected. But make sure, people, before you come off this video, you smash that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up as well. Leave your thoughts down there in the comments. Are you happy with these transfer targets? Do you have other players in mind that you would like to see us linked with? There are other strikers out there. I like Dusan Vlahovic. I also like Victor Gyökeres, a striker that my stepdad, lifelong Coventry fan, even said to me he didn't understand why Premier League clubs didn't take the gamble for him, and he's doing very well over there in Sporting. You know what I mean? So some will argue it's the Portuguese league, but when you actually go and watch how this guy plays football, he is a baller. I do think he's a very good player, and the top club would do well to get a striker like that. And in terms of wing positions, what other options would you be interested in? Yeah, but like I said, leave those thoughts down there in the comments. And until next time, I'm out. Gareth Southgate out.